3, 2, 1. All right, we are recording. What's up, everybody? Thank you again to everybody for tuning in. Once again, this is the Teacher's Lounge podcast presented by Beat Refinery. Learn how to make, scratch, and make music by visiting Beat Refinery. We have locations nationwide across the U.S. of A. My name is DJ Geometrics. Of course, we got Doc Plus in the building.
What up?
We got DJ As1.
Hi.
We got Sean J.
Sean
J. Oh, we got the sound effects back. Nice.
Yeah.
And we got Stylist Chris, who is currently he's going to be part of the podcast, but his son Judah it's his birthday today, and he's got
big Judah.
a project that he has to do for his birthday that he should have probably done like earlier. But we're gonna do an exclusive live look at Stylist Chris trying to build this Papa Shot in his basement for his son's birthday.
There's way too much back context to this story, but it's going into a place where we've had to reconstruct the whole basement for it. It was an oversight on my part. I should have looked at the dimensions. I just bought it. And it's like a Dave & Buster's Papa Shot, and I've got myself in too deep at this point.
There's no going back.
So for all of our audio listeners, you guys got to see this. So we have a live look of like Chris like trying to build this Papa Shot right now. So for anybody who wants to see the video, make sure to like visit us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Beat Refinery. You can also look at the recordings, our video recordings for the podcast on facebook.com/Beat Refinery or youtube.com/Beat Refinery. So it's hilarious, man. Like right now we have him in the window.
Well, it's more funny to these guys because they know I'm like the least handyman person that there is. Like
There's
the
always
fact
the
I'm
one
even
screw.
doing this is,
Yeah, Chris is trying to build this Papa Shot with a Swiss Army knife. So anyways, so how's everybody doing? How was everybody's weekend?
Phenomenal weekend. Sorry, did not mean to jump the gun there.
No, well, Doc, how about you? Like, what was up with you? What
How was your
you
week?
do over the weekend?
Man, I couldn't resist. It was really a crazy weekend. I didn't play, but I had the opportunity to see some of my friends and local DJs and producers here in Austin and Houston show up on a whole nother level that I had never gone to a party like this. So it's ACL weekend, or Austin City Limits, the longest running music festival in the US. And
Of course, Austin would do that, man.
Well,
You guys. Nice
Red
to
Bull
have them.
came through, and Red Bull did Red Bull, and like rented out this historical mansion, and Growth and Decay, and a local record label from Austin took over with and put in their DJs, and it was just awesome. Free event, like as long as you got an invite, an RSVP. It was like underground, an incredible mixture of people, free drinks, and Red Bull and Red Bull.
Yeah.
Incredible music. Seriously, like boiler room level kind of event,
nice.
man. Just blew my
That's
mind.
dope.
Never been
That's
anything
dope.
to like
Well,
that.
you can't go wrong with all the Red Bull. So consumption.
Keep
That's
up
when
all
it's
night
free,
eating
man.
rock.
Just saying.
What about you, Sean? What'd you do?
I had a crazy gig weekend. I had 3 booked back-to-back weddings, but here's the twist.
Woo!
It turned into 2.
Oh.
First time
Last
in
minute
years of
cancellation?
DJing, last minute bride called off the wedding.
Oh,
Wow.
Hopefully,
And
wait.
what was the reasoning?
Yeah.
Do we really know?
I honestly don't know.
Does anybody
there's some
really know?
speculations from
Isn't
No,
that COVID
some
related?
vendors.
Bachelor
Do
party
this,
was
guys.
the reason.
I have a feeling it was something along the lines of the groom may or may not had some unauthorized
Oh
activity.
no.
I met the bride. I never met the groom, but the bride seemed very, very sweet and very ready to get married. So whatever happened, I don't think it was on her end. I'm just
Dang,
saying.
man. Now
But
that's the dark side of these things.
That 15 years of DJing, it's the first time the weekend of a wedding was canceled. I've never seen something like that before. But I stayed across the Bay Bridge because all three of the gigs were across the Bay Bridge. Did the hotel thing.
So what'd you do during your time off? How did you spend your day?
I actually ran some equipment back to a rental company. I hung out with my wife and my dog for a little bit. I linked up with another DJ friend of mine.
Over the Bay Bridge? Or you went back home?
Once I realized I had the day free, then I came back to the other side and then went back for the night.
Damn.
Okay.
That's crazy. Like,
I don't think I've ever. Was it in the middle? It was like 1, 2, 3. Which one got canceled?
Oh, yeah, the second one.
The second one. So the one in the
middle.
like
a Saturday?
Yeah, I got my Friday wedding done. It was like 8:00 at night, and I get an email from the bride saying,
"Hey, could have been the last
might have to cancel." And I was like, "Ooh, what?" But I'm in the middle of DJing, so we had to like figure out what's going on the next morning.
Man.
And then by the morning, it was official.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever had like a wedding cancel on me like the week before, but I've had like weddings. I've done like maybe like a handful of weddings where the bride and groom divorced like maybe within a month.
I've had a November rain style wedding where it was at the Bay Bridge. Right across the Bay Bridge, there's a spot called like Hemingway's.
Yeah.
And we were outside, and long story short, I look out into the bay, and I see.
Hold on. Doc, man, that's where you're supposed to post something.
I was just gonna see if it actually was gonna be a long story short. I want to give him a chance.
No, we got to get the comedic timing right here, man.
Okay, just wanted to see if he was actually gonna make it.
That's one short story long. Okay, so I look out, and there's just dark clouds, and I go, "That is super interesting. That looks like rain is coming." But if you know anything about weather and like where the water is and these
on the water,
as this dark cloud got closer, when I say visually closer, I still mean like far away. In between that and us was this fucking pressure of wind that just, and literally we had everything set up. They were doing an outside dinner. I literally, like, I don't know if you guys say November Rain. It's a music video by Guns N' Roses from the 90s. And that it rains and all this crazy stuff happens that way, and the wind blows all of my gear. So basically, everything that I'm standing behind flies behind me. My speakers, 30 yards back. Cables, everything. The only thing that I saved was my turntables and my laptop. And so I was unplugging things out of my mixer as things were flying back. And it's raining, it's windy. I grab my laptop, my turntables go, speakers are already flowing out. Literally, all you hear is glass, like in dishes in China. Long story short, we had to wait the whole thing out. I was able to get one speaker to work with the laptop, and we all did a 30-minute like rest, like 30 minutes before the end of their time at the venue. We were able to like do a little. It wasn't even a party. It was like all the speeches. And, sorry.
Oh my god.
This is very memorable. Yeah.
Wait, that wasn't this past weekend, was it?
No.
I was about to say, man.
This was like almost 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's crazy. So what'd you do, Art, this weekend?
I worked at Chicken and Whiskey on Friday. Super dope. I'm gonna post some on my Instagrams. Some girl basically
whenever that comes back.
Well, yeah, whenever that comes up.
She goes like this.
Stay down as long as it wants, as far as I'm concerned now.
She goes like this, all the way in the back corner, this white chick. And I'm like,
oh yeah, it's time.
She goes, and then she goes, I go, and he goes, check neck. And I'm like, what? Yo, I play this thing, and this chick, like, she knew every verse, dude. It was wild. It was wild. This
Just
is like
in case
a college
for all the
thing.
audio
For me,
listeners tuning in, Art,
throw your W's up.
Put up the W for white girls.
Oh, and Saturday I did a big wedding out in Virginia. It was super awesome. Shouts to the new Mr. and Mrs. Brumfield, and I got to work with this guy named Alan Walker. Check him out on Instagram. It's A Money. He's also on Spotify and YouTube. He's got like 55,000 followers. He's electric violinist. Super dope kid, man. Super dope.
I love working with musicians. Yo, yes.
Nice.
Man.
What about you, Chris? Let's get a live update on
The live update on the
on Chris's
basketball.
project right now
Live update.
for all our Twitch viewers.
Where are we at, guys?
I'm getting all the electronic pieces built into the back of the backboard. So we're moving along. I'm about to install the final piece where you turn the game on and off, and you want 2-player game. This is legit stuff here. There's gonna be some serious gambling going on.
Oh, wow.
In my basement.
Careful, guys.
In Stylus and Busters.
Stylus and
Is going to turn into a lot of 1s and 5s. And
This is how a lot of future decisions are going to be made, Chris. Okay, do I accept this gig or not? We'll see.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
If I go 8 out of 10 on these 10 free throws.
So you're saying Chris, you're saying your games are going to be available on the MGM app?
Oh yeah, man. And I'm running a special. You bet $1, you get 100.
Sign me up.
So this weekend was the busiest I've been since 2019. I did started Thursday with the MS Society Ambassadors Ball down on the wharf. It's a very highly stressful gig where you're on comms with producers and you're doing walk-up music for awards and for speeches and but it was great. It was fun, and did my last home game with the Nats for the season on Friday pregame.
Ryan Zimmerman. Woo.
Yeah,
Nice.
I did that Friday, and then I woke up Saturday and drove to the Hamptons and East Hampton, so pretty much almost to Montauk. It took in October Saturday, so it took me 7 hours and 15 minutes, I think, to get there.
Oh, that was Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, Saturday morning I left very early, and then wedding was great. I had to only do I didn't have to do the dancing portion. It was all broken up to a band for cocktail. Then I did all the dinner and the special dances and everything in this really beautiful like outdoor tent. Then after that was over, I hightailed to Philly, and I slept in Philly where I ended. I did a fall festival for a client I have where I've been doing her events for like 5 years. So it started at 10 a.m., like 10 to 2 ish, and in Philly, and then had to bolt down the highway and get back to the APH building down in Constitution for a wedding last night. So I was really
grinding.
I was really
the hustle.
I mean, it was the super hustle and the type of thing where you're realizing, like, sometimes the most stressful point of all the gigs was just the travel.
Getting there.
Thankfully, all the gigs were lovely. They were fun. They were low stress. Getting there on time was the biggest part of it. So shout out to Jeff, my homie Jeff Mercer. He's been around in the Beat Refinery.
Shout out to Jeff.
And that's why Chris is building a pop-up shop right now, because he was too busy this weekend.
Exactly.
What do you? Shouts to Jeff. How did Jeff come into?
Jeff's the man. I've got Jeff is really upped his sound man game. He's doing bands, mixing bands now with us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
dope.
Yeah.
Jeff is that
Big
dude.
shout out to Jeff.
Shouts to Jeff. Jeff does the sound at Chicken and Whiskey. He kind of
cool.
Too.
Nice.
I didn't know that too.
Yeah, it changes a lot, but that's a good thing because Jeff is always coming in. He's like, tune.
Well, if you guys want to know what I did over the weekend,
You like it?
Yeah, it sounds like
Okay.
your
Okay.
weekend.
I did a wedding, but this is probably the easiest wedding I've ever done, like in a long time. It's like a couple it's another one of those postponed weddings, but it was like they initially we were in another venue, but like this year they moved it to a new one, and this is the first time I've ever done a wedding at a brewery. But I did it at Crooked Run at their Daybreak Kitchen area.
Is that Virginia?
And that's like in Virginia, in Sterling. around that area. So Crooked Run is like a really popular brewery.
I've
got
heard of
some
that
good-
place. I haven't been there yet.
Good beer. But what's great about it is like they have their own stage, they have their own like, you know, speakers, which is like nice big line array. So they usually do like shows there. So all I had to do is like, you know, like I literally had like with our contract, I literally had to do like I was supposed to do their ceremony, cocktail hour, you know, reception. So 3 different sound systems, you know the deal. But like this one is like, all right, I don't have to bring anything except for my controller.
That's amazing.
So then they set up a table, I just plugged in, and such an easy. We didn't even have to do the ceremony because they already got married last year. So I was like, all right, cocktail hour,
Awesome.
and reception, and it was dope. I mean they had, it's probably one of the better dance floors I've had this year. So it was fun, definitely lots of fun, easy, super easy breakdown setup,
In and out.
man.
So, yeah, I don't know. Just since we're talking about that, I recently, you know, I know Sean uses line arrays now. I'm not sure what you're using, Geo.
Column
if you
arrays,
just use,
yes.
It's like our RCFs. Those are like
you
my
use
main speakers now.
RCFs, Geo?
Yeah.
I know Chris is using. Oh, so all you guys are using column arrays.
Yep.
Okay.
Column arrays. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I pretty much picked up off of that one, but using what I had, like I figured out the system where I'm about to look for these other ones, but 10 or 12-inch subs. Really, I'm rocking 10-inch subs with QSC K.2 tops.
I mean, that's good for, you know,
a pseudo. You guys saw it at my party.
Yeah.
It's a pseudo version of like the column array thing. But so much better with the lower end. I guess having more full range was something that I didn't think about was as important to me up until recently. Like not only just my DJ, but like if I'm doing mobile, I want my sound to be like,
dude, even like I've been using like 2 years now, like RCF Evox 8s. Those are the small, the fives. Those are the smallest ones, and I found out those are like the easiest thing for like ceremony and cocktail hour now, because like if you're bringing in a speaker, you have to bring in like the poles, like a tripod and
It
like
just takes
like a
more
speaker.
time to put it
Yeah,
all
it takes more
together.
time. This one is like it's easy to carry.
You're done
It's
in 30
easy,
seconds.
yeah.
If they make a J5 mix or an Evox 5 mix, it's over. Because the 8s have the mixer built into it. The J8 has the
J8 mix.
Yeah, the J8 mix has a console, and that's like ceremony.
Wait, so I'm looking at the J8. It comes single. It's a grand.
Yes,
it's
you
pretty
can
much
you can get one J8 and then one J8 mix, and it's got the mixing board built into it. You can plug musicians into it. You can plug everything into directly into it.
Yeah, the ones I'm using
an
are
iPad app to control it. So you can control it from your phone, like volumes and all the channels and everything.
But what's great about the Evox, it's all built in. Like you can like basically the top speaker, it slides into the back, and even the poles are like nice and secure in its carrying case. So it's like so much easier instead of like bringing you got your pole, your tripod, and the speaker, and maybe like if you're doing ceremony, you got your audio mixer, wireless mic setup. But I think if they made like an Evox J5, I probably won't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how good like the mixers are within
the
those
mixer
speakers,
on the I got the Evolve 30Ms and the 50s, the regular 50s, not the new ones with the mixer. The 30Ms are the reason that I was like, I'm going all in on the M's, because that has the built-in mixer. They got compressors, they got effects and everything. That's like, I can fit everything into the back of my Corolla. I can fit 4 column arrays into the back of my Corolla with turntables. I'm good. I don't like to, but I can.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, like art, man. Like especially for like the ceremony and cocktail hour, you should look into like if you want to like streamline your setup, like Evox RCF. What is it? RCF Evox 5s.
The 5s.
Those are
I
dope.
need to look at those. Yeah.
I have like 2 of those, one for ceremony, one for cocktail hour, and then depending on like how big the ceremony, I'll use both of them. But it's like so easy to like move and like to set up and break down. It's definitely a better way of doing it. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to our topics of the day for this podcast. So, yes, Doc. No, we're not gonna talk about that right now. We'll talk about we'll talk about that later in the show. So we'll start with there's been a lot of news about live streaming, like a lot of the live streaming platforms these days, especially the past 2 weeks.
There's been some updates, yeah.
Yeah, there's like we've heard some updates from like Twitch about the DCMA, DMCA,
the DMCA, and the NMPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
what
you got the article, Sean? So like, what's the update on that?
So the easy way to think about it is all the copyright takedowns that people were worried about and getting mostly on Facebook, people were worried that they were going to start getting hit with those strikes on Twitch because Twitch, not too long before this, announced that they have a process for keeping track of your copyright strikes. But last week, they sent out an email saying that they struck a deal, Twitch, with Warner Music Group. And so that's like a big deal because Warner and Sony are like some of the few majors that have like all these libraries of music that's copyrighted that people would be otherwise using. And on top of having that agreement with Warner Music Group, they also joined up with the National Music Publishers Association. So I had never actually heard of this organization. I went and pulled up their website and taken a look at the press release. It's basically saying, I'll just read this part of it. We're pleased to reach this agreement with the NMPA, excited about our shared commitment to empowering songwriters and creators to share their work and passions while connecting with audiences. That's what Twitch is all about, and we know that great music starts with a great song. Looking forward to innovating with collaborations to further unlock the incredible potential of our service and our community for music publishers and their songwriter partners.
No, what's been happening like the past couple months? Like still like nobody like when they're live streaming on Twitch, they're not getting like their stream stopped, right? It's basically on just the video on demand part or click.
I think that the way that this looks is they were about to not have a deal, therefore
they're about to drop the hammer on that.
They were about to drop the hammer, and then this happened. So like that little thing on Twitch, if any DJs that have been live streaming on Twitch specifically, you'll see in your profile the counter for if you got a copyright strike, it'll keep track of them. When you get 3, you get your account locked or whatever, like SoundCloud used to threaten everybody with. But because of this agreement and the last update they had, that only seems to matter with recordings of past streams. So if you're not keeping an archive of your past streams, it falls into a different category. That's called sync licensing, where you're pairing up video and audio, and legally it falls under a separate definition. So this makes it so you're safe when you're playing the music in a live stream, as long as you don't save the archived video.
Interesting. So I mean that's what I'm guessing that's what we're heading to now. It's like once there's more agreements, then you can definitely start keeping like your clips up.
Yeah. Once they have sync agreements, then you won't have to worry about taking any recorded clips down. Right now, you're in the clear. As long as the Warner Music catalog, it looks like it's just Warner Music, that you can use any of their stuff and they won't pull your video, even though they have the technology now on Twitch that they could.
Who else is out there? Like, isn't it like what are the major music groups?
There's Warner Music, Universal, Sony, and then like
it's like Big Four, right? Isn't
there's a fourth?
They always call
too.
it the Big Four,
Yeah, I can't remember what the fourth one is.
It
might be. No, it could be Def Jam.
I think Def Jam is under Universal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, like Rock Nation, Def Jam. I think they're all under.
That's
Universal.
all in one umbrella for sure.
Yeah,
it might be like Motown or something like that, because I know Motown still pushes newer
Interscope?
stuff. But Interscope, that's what it is. Interscope.
Because it's what's his name? God, I'm drawing a
No,
blank.
all those companies have been all consolidated. There's only really Universal, BMG, Sony, Warner.
EMG. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
There it is. The
EMG
record store
and Columbia House, where you pay a penny for 8 CDs.
the old OG DJs know the game.
Yo, I've built up so much of like because they used to do records too. Columbia House used to do records. I built up like like when I first started the DJing back in the early '90s. I built up some of my collection off of that. But I was also I built up a lot of debt. But as an underage person, you can definitely doesn't count against you.
You can't get caught up if you're not 18 yet. But that's a nice little segue, because now that you can get caught up and they don't catch you up on Twitch, what's the word with Facebook? That's also part of the streaming update.
Yeah, I just saw that.
What is the news with Facebook?
Facebook gaming.
Other than it's down, also.
Yeah,
Also, Facebook and the internet is down right now as we record.
Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. The whole world is ending. It's been going on. Like, we're actually recording this podcast like around what time is it right now? 5:40 p.m. It's been going on since like noon.
I swear I thought my internet was down.
No, like everybody's. I had to
I've been refreshing Down Detector, and it's like the whole internet, but especially Facebook stuff.
Oh man,
it's wild that we're even able to like do this online right now.
I know, right?
Amazon came back.
Hopefully, we can stream this on Facebook tonight.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But like about Facebook, that's another news story that we found. Like, Facebook has Facebook Gaming. The Facebook gaming platform, I guess that's their answer to Twitch. They've actually I'm just gonna read it some here. So Facebook just announced that streamers who use its Facebook gaming platform can now use any copyrighted music they like in their video game streams. So, because apparently some games have like music, copyrighted music, and I guess some gamers like to listen to music too, while they play. So apparently I think they approved this like maybe a month ago or so. But they said, but basically, essentially, what is gonna happen? It means DJs that go on this platform can definitely go live now without any fear of any copyright strikes or their live stream ending. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that?
It sounds like Twitch is responding to Facebook. It sounds like Facebook Gaming gave Twitch a reason to be like, we can't shut people down right now because we got real competition with Facebook.
I honestly think that's gonna be a game changer if they improve that more and more, because it's at the end of the day, Twitch is hard to live streaming, because you got to bring it doesn't have a built-in audience,
right? So
you got to bring in your audience over. And that's what during the pandemic that was so great about Facebook Live. You had especially if you had a lot of people following you on Facebook, it's like boom, you got instant audience right there. There's so many people that did had a successful run during streaming on Facebook Live, but couldn't really essentially transition to Twitch because a lot of their built-in audience didn't want to go over to Twitch. So I kind of feel like if this Facebook gaming, if a lot more DJs took this on, man, it's probably gonna. Did we just lose Sean? I just see a black screen. No, Sean is gone.
He'll be back.
But yeah, would you guys ever think about live streaming again?
I would so the one thing that I see Facebook also getting itself into is obviously the metaverse. So it's probably preparing itself, to it's already kind of opening up its infrastructure musically, I guess, and in the gaming world for the metaverse. So I mean, I would live stream in that setting again.
Yeah, it's probably going to be easier for all of us, because a lot of our followers are pretty much on Facebook, but at least the people that I guess care about us, who knows, I wouldn't mind seeing,
doesn't die forever.
I wouldn't mind seeing, my family watch me on a stream again. That's what Facebook is.
Shout out to the family who tune into your live streams.
To aunties and uncles.
But didn't they try to do that? What's that whole thing with Facebook? Was it rooms? Is that what it is? They try to do some sort of where a lot of artists can do live shows, and whatever happened to that?
That's a very good question. What did happen to that? It sounds like anybody trying to bite off a Clubhouse is not having much luck. But
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's part of this streaming update too.
It is.
Spotify made
Let me
their
get into
own
that.
rooms version of that as well, called the Green Room, and nobody knew it existed. It was a thing I had to dig for, but I downloaded the app and took a look at it. It's the same thing as Clubhouse, but nobody knows about it.
So right now you can't stream. DJs can't stream on Clubhouse because they've taken out what is it like? You can't connect a sound card to it, like
Yeah, you
audio
can't
interface.
connect a mobile device direct audio into a phone. Won't let that work in the app.
So definitely
so you
not.
have to otherwise use a computer or something like that if you know how to do that. So that's out.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing maybe that's probably why Spotify. That's probably Spotify's answer because hey, you can with this. You know, you can probably connect the audio interface and connect your guitar, or drums, or DJ setup and start streaming. You know, but I think like what other services are out there like that's like that like
There's
the Clubhouse style Twitter,
the Twitter thing,
whatever that's
I forgot
called.
what it's called. And we were looking for it and we couldn't even find it. Like
Yeah,
Geometrics and I both could not find it.
The last time I saw it, who was it? Just Blaze. I was like, I guess I was following Just Blaze on Twitter, and this was like maybe a couple months ago. And then I was like, what's this circle popping up? Looks like a Clubhouse thing. So yeah, he was just like explaining a lot of stuff about sampling during that time. But like, yeah, that was the very, very last time I saw that. I haven't seen it again. There's like no section of it.
Yeah, there's no section for it. I would see it notifications pop up occasionally, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't even start a room now. I was just like, I don't understand if anybody uses this, but it looks like it's gone.
But yeah, I think that's another story that I found recently about that sort of style of like live streaming. But there's this thing called Blast Radio. So Blast Radio is an app.
Got you on blast.
You can download, onto your phone, and it actually you can. I think you can download some sort of plugin in order to connect
FM radio.
It's kind of like that. I think that's the whole principle. It's like because like I tested it out and like you can actually literally just like turn on like a broadcast and then you can just turn off your phone, your locker phone, and you can listen to it like Spotify or Apple Music. It's got like that nice app. I don't know what you call it, like capability, but But basically, so you can either buy a plugin and be able to connect your audio interface to it, or you can actually buy the Blast Radio. Actually, has a plugin or an interface that you can buy for like $200 or something. But it connects either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, whatever, and it's just like one button, operation. So if you're ready to go live, you just press the one red button and then stop. Press it again. So very simple, for people that don't want to go through the plugin and using their audio interface. But the concept here is you can broadcast live, and then it sort of becomes like a Snapchat. So it'll once you're done with your broadcast, it'll stay there for like 24 hours. It'll disappear. So it'll be there. It'll be available for 24 hours, and then after that, it's done. It goes into the end game.
I appreciate seeing some underground electronic artists like Surgeon, DJ Bus Replacement Service. We have Matthew Deere, Carl Craig, Steffi. This is cool. Animal Collective, some underground artists in there.
But the reason why I brought that up, because especially since we're all talking about like the whole whole bunch of like potpourri of like live streaming news, is like it's actually a good idea, because like it kind of like you do that and it disappears. You don't have to like worry about like DMCA trying to record labels trying to get you.
Yeah, that's why like Instagram and Snap stories are so popular. People will be a lot more willing to just like try stuff because they know it's going to be gone if it's not great in 24 hours. I feel like that's not a bad thing because people if they use it and if they get really serious with trying to make things interesting, you can do a lot of stuff, and then you got to be in the know.
I mean, it's kind of like, like performing live at the end of the day. And it's like, you have to be there to really
Right.
Sure.
to check it out. I mean, this kind of like the same concept, but like, who do you think's gonna take that and take advantage of it? What platform?
I don't think Clubhouse has a long shelf life anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't really checked that out in a long time. I haven't been needing any NFT news yet lately, so I think that's all that is. Clubhouse is like all crypto NFT.
It's all crypto people trying to convince you they're millionaires and you can be too.
Or if you need an online life coach,
That's the new the .com bubble. There's going to be all these companies that sprouted up over the pandemic and fulfilling voids that are just going to, like, I don't know if you guys saw how much Versus was sold for or whatever. That's going to be that's just a money pit. That's going to not make its money back. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
And same with like Clubhouse, stuff like that.
Unless they really start bringing in like
unless
the
you do it live, unless you go to concert, unless you can
on
do
a tour or
Yeah.
live, but like it's got to be like the really big names, in order for it to, like, like we're waiting on like maybe a Kanye versus Drake.
Well, look at the like Dipset versus Locks thing. Like,
Oh my god.
that was it was an actual event that was
Let's start it like
Versus.
this, son.
Boom, there it is. Just like, this could be interesting for Versus if they do big events like that. But I think that as far as like this disappearing audio or disappearing content thing, I haven't seen anybody else do something that other than Snap, Instagram, that people use. So if this what was the name of the app again? Blast Radio.
Blast Radio.
If Blast Radio gets adopted, I feel like they're kind of filling a niche where it's audio focused specifically. That seems promising. I don't have a lot.
That's
of
the best
faith that-
thing. It is. It's audio only. It's like you don't have to worry about like,
because
I
then you're
gotta
not
set
competing
up the
with
green
anybody
screen.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's straight up radio. That's what it is. And
I'm gonna
it's
check
really-
that out as soon as we're
simple.
done on here. I'm very interested.
And it's pretty rare. Honestly, it's pretty rare to have like an audio type app, where it's just radio. Like, I wish Mixcloud Live could be. I don't think they have like a good app to where it doesn't have like a radio capability, to it, where you can just like leave it on and lock your phone and just listen to it like like Apple Music or Spotify. But I think that's what Mixcloud Live should have been.
Yeah,
it
I
should have been
agree.
like more of like an audio only broadcast.
Totally agree with that.
Because I think
Yeah.
more people would be able to like use it, and I honestly, a lot more people that's outside the DJ realm can probably access it. Who knows? That's the most important thing.
Wow, that's genius. Yeah, people that aren't in music would use Mixcloud if it was easier than turning on the radio.
Yeah. That's what it is. I think that's what we're gonna head into, especially with the whole Spotify DJ mixes coming. Did we talk about that?
Nah, we
Nope.
breeze right into that.
We can
one.
segue right into that.
Well,
though.
remember, guys, we talked about Apple Music adding like like DJ mixes now, and then apparently Spotify recently has added like a DJ mixes section in their app, and it's only available. Who is it? Where is it available, Doc?
So it is available to all users in the UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, Australia, and New Zealand.
Yeah.
And they're experimenting right now with this new feature, as you mentioned, that's like the podcast tab, music tab, and now DJ mixes.
I think that's where everything's going. Hopefully we can, a lot of DJs can start doing audio only type streams, but make it easy to where you can do it on either the big name platforms like either Apple Music or Spotify,
because people need to be able to easily find it and easily listen to it. That's what we're
That's
People
the
already
biggest
on those platforms.
exactly. There's already like you already have like a built-in audience, and they like these platforms have like a great search capability. And people can definitely find you, but like most likely a lot of people already have like either Apple Music, definitely Apple Music 100%. If you're an iPhone user, you
Yeah,
definitely
you got
already
an
have
iPhone.
Apple
you can
Music.
at least do that.
Well,
And a lot of people have fallen. Like they
can
probably
we talk about
joined
this
it.
real quick? I have an iPhone. It makes sense. And again, I guess I had a student who is not in the ecosystem, and he's like, "What keeps you in the iPhone world?" And I'm like, "Dude, we are too deep in the ecosystem with all these devices. The idea that my phone, I can drop stuff from my phone from one computer to the next, and all that stuff, and
Airdrop.
my
Copy and
calendar,
paste.
my calendar, all this stuff. It like that's where I'm at. However, doing a lot of weddings and getting these clients, they're sending me Spotify lists.
Right.
But then I
yeah.
noticed they also have iPhones.
Yep.
So where do I stand? Do I need to be paying for Spotify? Which most of you guys probably do. You probably already like.
I
have Spotify. I have a Spotify, but like, should I?
I've been a Spotify
on
member
Spotify?
for the longest time now, because like
Well,
I
'Cause I
basically
paid
listen to music from Spotify, but like once in a while I'll I think I have like a 6-month trial on Apple Music right now, because I signed up
I do
for.
too.
Oh, I just got like an Apple Watch, so it's like
Wait, so
I had
you
to sign up
guys-
for something.
You have an iPhone, but you don't use Apple Music.
I do not use Apple Music.
I use
None of you
Apple
guys-
Neither
Music
does
for
Stylus Chris.
one
Stylus Chris
thing.
shakes his head.
None of you guys.
Spotify.
I use it for one
Spotify.
thing.
The reason why Spotify is the first one to do it, so there's really more people, and then like a lot of sites are using the whole
Why?
Spotify.
So you guys have been on Spotify first, or to make it difficult, or like why not just make your life easy? If you're already an Apple paying
In the
Apple, it's easy to just pay for tack on the price to pay for Apple Music.
I use Apple Music for Beats One Radio, and that's it. Because I like Selection Radio, and I like listening to Ebro's broadcasts. And like, you can only use Beats One Radio on iPhones or on Apple devices in the live format, like the actual live thing.
I'm noticing everyone's on Spotify.
So one of the yes, and actually to that point, as one that it's become almost like a Google for music. Like you can send anyone music.
Yeah.
And I think predominantly you're going to use the Spotify link to do that. Like, check out this song. You send like by default, like a Spotify link, because I think Gio, like you said, it's one of the first ones to have a large database. But what I want to make.
Are you guys saying that compared to Apple, theirs is bigger, or Apple's database sucks? Because
I think it's let's see where Doc's point is.
Well, yes, I think Spotify's is a lot more. I would say it's a lot more diverse, just from an intuitive standpoint. It seems like there's.
I think you have a lot more independent artists on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, like we learned recently that only 0.4% of musicians on Spotify can actually make a living from the stream, like the money they make streaming their music. So I just want to make that clear as we are like using it. It's not the best for artists, but it is good for curating your music.
It's a place to make sure people can find you.
At the end of the day,
people a significant amount of money. That's for sure.
At the end of the day, our artists don't make money off of their music. They make money off the shows and like merchandise.
The shows and the merch.
So just remember that, kids.
Shows and the merch.
If you're an aspiring a rapper, make sure you get your tours and your shows. Get that money from that.
Get on that Bandcamp. You keep all the money.
Yes. So, do we have anything else we want to talk about live streaming, or should we move on?
Let's keep moving.
Let's get an update. How about this? Let's get an update on Chris.
Yeah, here we go.
Where's Chris at here?
Where you at now?
We got a backboard up.
Thank you for being.
Oh man, slight detour because we had the diagram with this post here had in the diagram it had it up here, but then as I installed it, I clearly saw that it was supposed to be down here.
Oh no!
So had to quickly that cost me a good 15.
You had to undo it and redo it.
Yeah, undo a little bit to move it around, but we're up. I got that part next. After this, it's kind of to the home stretch. Once I get this backboard on, because I got the net, it kind of slides up these poles. So check back with me in 10 minutes. We'll see where we're at.
Nice.
Thanks for the update, Chris. You're your first match sometimes. Sometimes it's two
back
steps
with
forward,
you.
one step back.
So again,
It's
to all our audio listeners, make sure to visit us on Facebook.com/Beat Refinery or YouTube.com/Beat Refinery just to see the video on this because it's hilarious.
So,
moving
back
on.
to you in the
moving on.
studio, Doc.
what's that?
Moving on.
Back to you in the studio.
Oh yeah,
Doc.
here we are, guys. So I would like to jump. I would like to jump back to Rekordbox. Speaking of streaming your music, and we just said also on our last episode talked about integration with Beat Source and everything. Another advancement they've made, Geo.
Yeah, let's get a little nerdy about this because like this like blew my mind. Like when I was like I was visiting I don't know what blog I was watching, I was looking at, but I saw a video from Johnny. Is that how you say it?
Pre-owned Johnny.
Johnny.
So he's got a video where he highlights this feature in Rekordbox where it has like a suggested related tracks feature. So what that does is like, you know, like when you're listening to like Spotify or Apple Music, you know, like you're listening to a song and it actually it actually suggests what song you want to listen to, you know, what song you want to play next, you know, in your Spotify or Apple Music or even, you know, YouTube, everything. Like it's all around us. YouTube, you know, it always suggests like what video to play next. So that's what's missing with our DJ software, especially with Serato, you know, because like sometimes, you know, you'll get so-called Serato face, resting Serato face, where you just look at the laptop and you're like, all right, I'm drawing a blank of what to play next.
You're looking at a sea of, and I'm not even gonna sea
of words.
I'm not even gonna say words. The words look like separate letters.
Yeah.
You're just looking at a sea of letters. A C 5 A 1 9. You see numbers and letters, and they're just like, bleh. You're like,
sometimes it gets overwhelming. Sometimes when you're like, all right, you're done like doing like sort of like a nice set, and all of a sudden, oh man, I didn't prepare for the next few songs. So it's like, I wish there was a feature where it's like, all right, let's get Serato to help us out a little bit on what to play next. But Pioneer Rekordbox has this feature in their playlist, basically. And it what's crazy about it is like it's built off of like your history. It can be built off of like the history of your sets. So as you play more and more on Rekordbox, it starts building this database up. So like on this related track feature, you can actually create different playlists. So they call the Prion Johnny actually called it smarter playlists. So what's cool about it is like you can create all these like smarter playlists. Yeah, create all these smarter playlists, and then like and look for like based off your history.
So like analyzes kind of tracks similar to this playlist.
Am I saying still? All right.
You said it wrong. Prion Johnny.
Prion Johnny.
Prion.
Yeah.
Prion. Wait, can we just call him PYJ?
You know what this reminds me of? Real
PYJ.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh, he should literally just be like, yo, DJ PYJ, what up?
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but this reminds me of like when you build a Spotify playlist on the very bottom, if you scroll down, it's like related tracks.
And
they're in your library.
I've done that. Like I like I told you guys before, I built some of my automated like cocktail hour mixes off of like Serato Pyro. So when I'm like almost done recording and I need a couple more songs, I'm always like looking at the suggestion list part of it on the bottom. I'm like, all right, I'll just drag this song and then, you know, swipe, and I'll drag this and then be done with the mix. So it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, like Spotify at the end of it, you know, when you're building like a playlist, you know, it always like helps suggest, you know, certain songs. But
you know what this kind of reminds me of? As opposed to when we're like full on in Serato laptop mode, this is like the beginning, well, actually more like the end of CDJs before everybody was having a laptop in the booth. You had fewer options. You had a bunch of options, but you had fewer options. So it was a lot easier to say, okay, I have this CD with 15 songs on it. Which one's the best one of these 15 to go next? And then after that song, what goes here? So it's the computer now using your history to suggest to you what you're doing.
And you can, like I said, going back to the playlist, the custom playlist that you create, you can suggest, all right, just create a playlist saying, all right, and again, going back to it, like this playlist change interactively based on what you're playing, right? Right then and there. So if you create like a playlist that says, all right, find all the songs that I've used previously in my history, like all the songs that I played before and after, and you can choose how many songs, up to like 5, I think.
Yo, that's so dope.
Based on, and also you can base it on like key, base it on BPM, base it on genre. There's so many options. That's why it's called smarter playlist. He calls it. And then so basically, like if you're having trouble what to play on this next song, you just go to that playlist and it's like you'll find everything that you've used before, or even suggest what to play.
We should be clear. I think and again, correct me if I'm wrong here, that this is only really available in Rekordbox performance mode. So when you're using your laptop and anything as a controller, and you're
so
just
for the listeners that don't know what resting Serato face is basically that look of just staring at your
looking
laptop
for a song,
staring it for a long time and just keep staring it without touching your equipment.
If you're hearing this, you'll start to notice.
You're trying to look for that song.
You'll start to notice when someone enters resting Serato face.
Yeah. They get this glassy-eyed look to them. It's like, deer headlights.
I saw this meme today or yesterday. It was pretty funny. It said the first 15 minutes of any DJ set is them trying to figure out what's wrong with the equipment. So like,
that does happen, dude, all the time.
Yeah, like the first 15, 20, you're just like,
Murphy's Law just always applies at some point.
No, this thing doesn't work. You're just trying to get through it.
Definitely been there.
But that feature, I wish Serato DJ would have that feature. That would.
Well, speaking of Serato DJ and CDJs or an integration, now we see Serato DJ now is supported in the CDJ-3000s. So I think now you'll be able to just plug in your CDJ-3000 to your computer and everything will pop up in HDI mode. You'll see the waveform and be able to control everything auto mapping as well.
Did you say HDI?
HID.
HID. I'm sorry.
It's cool. I was like, wait, is that new?
No, my bad.
No,
but here's what I want to know about this.
Deal. This is a
so
big
how
deal.
long has this been
deal.
a problem?
Yeah.
Like how long has like a lot of, especially for the club DJs that's still working club DJs, because that HID mode is very important for the club DJs. How long has this been a problem?
Here's the issue. This has been a problem since HID mode. So this is to clarify, HID mode has been possible, but you didn't have full functionality mapped back to Serato. You could use the CDJ as a controller, but you didn't have the waveform of the song you're playing on that big ass screen. You didn't have the ability to use like the beat jumps on the CDJ to actually do the beat jumps on Serato.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, when I was using Tractor as an everyday DJ software, that feature, that HID feature, was already auto mapped. So I had access to all of those features. If I pressed loop on the CDJ, it would do loop on screen the way that Tractor did it. That was a built-in thing.
They communicated.
They talked perfectly. And so Serato was trying to catch up and do their integration of it, but because of the way the softwares are programmed, there was a disconnect in Pioneer talking to Serato the right way. It's taken them years to get to this point, but now Tractor hasn't had any real major updates that are useful, and Serato's finally at that point where, okay, everything you can do, I can do better now.
Wow. Here's what I didn't realize. I totally forgot the CDJ-3000s have like the displays.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you can actually have like the waveforms on there now.
The waveform and like Sean J was saying,
a lot to see
in the cue points.
Waveform.
I guess there's 8 cue points.
Yep.
I'm looking at it.
Beat jump, looping, sync, track search will all function as expected inside of Serato using now this.
How do you go into HID mode? It's like, is it like, are like both CDJs, are they like network and then all you have to use is just one USB cord? Or
you don't even have to network them. You have a USB plug to each CDJ, and if you've got
you need a hub.
Pioneer, you probably need a hub because you have to have the mixer as your sound card plus each CDJ. So that's 3 ports. And
3
most computers
USB
only got the
ports
2
to get it
USB
done.
ports. So I just keep a hub in my backpack, my DJ bag. But you plug in a USB to each CDJ. You plug in your audio interface, the mixer, and then you press the USB button on each CDJ. You scroll the knob, and it says which deck do you want to control, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So on the right, you usually go 2. On the left, you usually go 1. And then everything matches up perfectly to what you would see on the screen.
Wonderful.
So now that you don't have to look at the screen, everything is faster and easier. The only thing you have to touch the screen for is to use the search function. It's so convenient when everything's in front of you.
Now, here's
Definitely.
a question: like, how many places that you guys work at, as far as clubs or bars, have CDJ 3000s?
3000s?
None.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like, this is an awesome feature.
The only
There's
place,
still $3,000 each.
the only places that even have CDJ 3000s at this point are like mega clubs.
Yeah.
Like the
Think
like the
about it.
Echo
Echo
Stage
Stage.
and the
Yeah, like Echo Stage and stuff like that. Other than that, no other place is paying for that stuff. And once again, I'm telling you, as someone who's running the streets right now, everyone's buying controllers, or they're either bringing their own, or the people that work hand in hand with these clubs, they're telling managers.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that a lot.
To buy controllers.
Yeah, it's like because like essentially that's like the CDJ 3000s. It's like you'll get 2 screens, 2 displays, but like if you think about it, like it's the same as like what is it,
The
XDJ?
Yeah,
whatever the flagship
for the
Pioneer
venues,
controller is.
Like, oh, it's all in one instead of buying 3 separate things, a Nexus 2000 mixer and then 2 CDJ 3000s.
Like essentially, it's like
It's over 10
9,000,
grand.
9,000
versus
instead of like
3.
2,500, I think.
And
for
it's
like
not that they can't afford that stuff, because but when you do the what's it called, and you have someone on the other end saying most of
save
these
money.
guys aren't going to be able to plug into CDJ 3000 anyways.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's
I
dope.
think that you're making a very good point with that one, Art.
I think it's dope that they are integrating this. Now, for those that are in that field, I think moving forward, that just creates, a stronger handshake for them to do that stuff more instantly with products.
Do you guys normally use HID mode on CDJ 2000s?
If I'm on any CDJ 800 and up setup,
I did used to with DJ Pro. Actually, algorithm was I had everything auto mapped as well. The CDJ 2000s.
So you guys don't use like the Serato CDs anymore?
Nah, I mean, I have 2
some in my
just
bag,
in case. Like I'm missing a USB cord or something. I always have 2 USBs in my bag that have the time code on it. But I usually am prepared with 3 USBs and a hub, so plug it in.
I was cleaning out my Dropbox recently, and I was like, I saw like the time code, like the extended version
the
of
noise
it,
map
like
sound.
that somebody made. It's not even like the new noise map, but it's somebody made because it used to be like a 7-minute sound clip like back in the day, and then like I found like somebody that edited to like a 60-minute.
That's funny. Yeah,
dude. I have a trace. I found this on my hard drive. It says DJ Trey's Serato Tone 200 minutes wave file. It was like a 200-minute Serato Tone wave file, and I was like, "Where'd I get this?"
You never had to rewind.
Put that one on SmartSync.
But that's what happens. Like if you go into HID mode, it's like it's already built in, right?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the time code thing, noise map
dope.
thing.
I missed that. I missed that era, I guess.
Up until
I was still bringing like flash discs for.
I would love to play
for
on
my
CDJ
Serato
3000s at these events, but these places aren't buying them. That stuff is
Yeah.
like hella expensive. Just like, what's the other CDJ they came out? The touring one.
The
what is it called?
T1s. The
T-
Tour one. It's like
the
CDJ
Tour one,
Tour
CDJ,
1 or something like that, and then like the DJM Tour 1.
It's
where
the
they
one
got
with
a
like
screen
the
that
really
folds
the bigger monitor. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't-
only gonna get that if you're a Avicii or
Yeah.
somebody like massive international whatever person.
Yeah. Well,
But I will say this one last thing on this whole CDJ conversation. Again, coming from the tractor world and then coming back to Serato, seeing competition between these different brands is good for the industry because it
Yeah,
forces
totally.
people to innovate.
For sure.
Yep.
I'm with
Yep.
it.
Well, I know somebody who's innovating right now. Let's get a live update on Stylist Chris. A final update. So where are we at now on your build?
Well, I'm basically at
This
this
is
final
serious progress.
steps. I'm putting the ramp
Wow, that
on.
looks legit.
Yeah, once the ramp is on, I'm pretty much right there. Once the ramp is on, it's a wrap. I'm fastening the backboard and the ramp together right now on the back side of this, and once that happens, I should be good to go. So
That includes like basketballs.
oh yeah, we got 4.
How many?
Yo, that's wild.
Got to pump them up, but
Fire.
yeah, man. So
He'll get
Well
to
done,
do that
sir.
for his
Well
birthday.
done.
Well, yeah, like next time, Chris have us over, man. We definitely have to like play
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like a couple rounds.
That's
That's gonna be a DJ crew Papa Shop.
Free
But
throw
by
off.
then,
Yeah.
but by then I'll have to do it blindfold because I'll know it
Oh,
too
you'll
well.
be good.
Chris will be doing trick shots by the time we come. It's like, oh yeah, check this out.
Off the
Hear
wall,
that?
off the wall, off the treadmill.
Dude, perfect.
Nothing but net.
Dude, perfect. Those
Dude,
guys-
perfect. That's right.
Oh man,
I like watching
you
this.
have no idea how much Judah watches Dude Perfect. And
Oh, for real?
Oh, jeez.
Good for-
Are we
I
gonna
see that.
expect
Shout out to the mirror
new
neuron. He's
YouTube
learning.
channel from you guys?
Dude, perfect.
we'll get Judah on here. He's got some pretty good tricks already.
Shout
Okay.
out to Stylist Judah. Happy
All
birthday
right.
to that dude.
Yes.
Yeah,
Happy birthday to Judah.
The young god.
Stylist
man.
Judah.
Big shout out to Chris again for joining us on the podcast while he's building his Papa
Great
Shop
job,
project
Chris.
for his son. But yeah, that's it for the podcast. Great talk today. Great to see you guys. As always, everybody, thank you for listening to us. Make sure to click like, subscribe, comment, add a rating because that helps us go up the charts.
5
Make
stars,
sure to
please.
visit us. Yes, 5 star. Make sure to visit us facebook.com/Beat Refinery or youtube.com/Beat Refinery to watch Chris build out his Papa Shot. But today was fun, and we'll see everybody next week. All right, y'all. Peace out,
Yeah.
guys.
We'll see
Go
you
back
guys.
to class.
We're back to class now.
Peace out.